12:30 p.m. Sister H. Hinton and Pastor R. Banger. And September 9th, Bishop P. Golf BLP for where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace, where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, Where I Am Now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 Studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, click and listen live, or you can go to 1400 AM or 1350 AM, and guess what? You can hear us all over the globe. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400. Good morning to you.
Mr. E, Facebook Live is on and popping. We have Mr. Chris Hinton. He said, what's the gossip? Oh, he must be ready for that tea. And Miss Mardell Lewis, good morning. She said, my friends. And look, make sure you all, I want to hold still. Wait a minute. I forgot somebody. Let's welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, follow, and subscribe.
Do all that.
And shout them out.
And we'll shout you out later on in the show.
Yeah.
Mr. E, what day is it today?
Today is Hump Day. That's what today is.
Mr. E almost jumped out of my skin. Woo, that was a good hump day.
That's hump
you
day.
all should be up and popping. It's the middle of the week, and it's really beautiful here in the Hampton Roads area. Mr. E is a little warm, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's 77 degrees on the outside and sunny.
Oh, wow. I hope you all are having great weather and great fun. You know, the summer is not over yet, even though the little children have gone back to school, most of them. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But we want to talk to you about some of the things we have for you, which is our current job list. Yeah, we're going to do it on Hump Day. We usually do it on Fun Friday, Mr. E, but we got it for you today. Mr. E, are you ready?
On the current job listing, guess what? Get your pen, piece of paper, and whatever you're going to write upon. And I just want to let you know that United Postal Service, Amazon, UPS, Federal Express, Home Depot, all those places are looking for employment. And just because you've been incarcerated, that's the thing that they're doing. The McDonald's, the Home Depot, the Harry Teeters, and Ace Hardware, and things of that nature are looking for folks to come and work for them. So don't think that because you've been there and behind those bars, you can't work. Yes, you can.
While I got the tongue tied. I must call. Come on back here, tongue tied. Suffolk counselor, adult literacy coordinator part-time, and they're also looking for a literacy council ESL literacy coordinator part-time.
Listen to this. This is new. PH3 lead fleet services specialist is needed. PH3 needs service delivery coach and job descriptor. PH3 leadership services need a specialist job. PH3, they need a delivery coach, a service specialist, educational service specialist, child care. Oh my goodness, we got to check out this site. Child care services manager as well.
That's right. Don't forget the Virginia Children Chorus looking for an assistant chorus manager, the Tidewater Jewish marketing and communication coordinator full-time, the planning council respite care administrator, a support specialist.
All right, the Norfolk Botanical Gardens, they need a youth educator. They also need a garden light crew 2022. They need a horticulturist. Look, somebody fill that job. We've been seeing that for about 3 years.
Judea Christian Outreach Residential, looking for a residential service worker. That's part-time. They're looking for a program director, a kitchen manager part-time.
For kids, mobility mentor. They need a housing specialist, a community partnership manager, and the Catholic Charities of Eastern Virginia. They need an in-home respite care worker.
And
that's it, right?
That's your job.
Well, I tell you what, it's already on our pages. Go to Yolanda Hinton's personal page. Edward Everett's personal page is on LinkedIn. It's on, what else, Mr. E?
Facebook Live.
It's everywhere.
So if you need a job, remember, you can get a job. And encourage those who have been incarcerated that they can get a job also. There's opportunities all over the 757 and all over the world for those. Don't forget that Lowe's is looking for folks to work in their departments also. One of the greatest things that we get ready to talk about in just a few, Ms. Hinton, is they're looking for jobs at the police department as also at the bus drivers for the school.
Wow, absolutely.
They're looking for bus drivers for those who, got good driver's license and passed the test and, to take these children to school.
Teachers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We want to say good morning to Annie. She said, what is PH? Now, that's what we're going to do some research on later because we don't know. But it's a part of our job listing, and we'll get some information for you all soon. We want to say also, Jeanette Slade Butler, good morning, young lady. How are you? It's good to see you here. All you all that are on, make sure you comment. We want to shout you out later on in the show.
That's
so,
what it's all
Mr.
about.
E, I almost jumped out of my skin when he said it was hump day, but it is the middle of the week.
Middle of the week, we made it.
We made it.
And not only that, it's the middle of the week, but it's the end of the month.
It's the end of the month. Absolutely.
Yeah.
August 31st. And man, it was a wonderful August. The weather was hot, but not too bad. And so we're going to be getting into the rainy season in September, and things are going to change from there. Our summer's going to come to an end, and fall is going to come, which I welcome. I love the fall.
I want to say good morning to Mr. Philip Plum. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
Yes, and since it's Wednesday, Mr. E, it's our segment, What's Under the Hat?
Wow.
What's Under the Hat? Issues concerning men. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell you just a little teeny bit about a segment that is coming up real soon. And it is called, okay, y'all ready for this? You are not the fall.
Yeah. Ms. Hinton, that's helping men to rise above mere survival and to help them to understand, because someone has already been through what they have been through.
Yes.
And so that's encourage them to face the fact so that we can help men to rise above. We want to make sure that men don't hold anything underneath their hat that will stop them from being productive. One of the hardest things that we have to understand is when you find out that you are not the daddy, it can cause you to have mental illness and hurt you down the road and cause you to shut down.
Absolutely. You are not the pappy. And you're going to find out what's under the hat, because I'm telling you, man, he doesn't take it too good when he finds out he is not the father. So that segment is coming up. Believe it or not, we have a special guest that's going to talk about,
That's right.
it. And like I said, issues concerning men, Mr. E. These are some of the things men go through.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
we're not going to, put it under the cover and say, well, hey, don't talk about that. We're going to talk about it. We have someone that's going to come on to share and express what's under his hat and how he felt going through this particular situation.
That's right. And so you got get ready, because there's a lot of men out there that got issues, that's got stuff underneath the hat that that stagnates and stop them from going forward.
Well, people want to express, you got people that really now in this day and time, they're going to tell it all. And so, they may not use names and whatnot, but they're going to talk about the situation that they have found themselves in and what it did to them and how they recovered. And
That's
so
right. That's
we're
right.
not talking about just throwing somebody's business out there, Mr. E. We're talking about from despair to triumph. There's always a silver lining and a happy ending and a moving on. And so we'll be talking to that guest. We'll announce that show in September for you all, and make sure you tune in.
That's right. We want you to tune in so that you can help someone as they travel along the way.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that goes through this, has to face those fears, and now they're coming out.
Absolutely. Now, today we're going to pause with that particular segment, but we're going to talk about something that is happening in real time.
Yeah.
And that's our children, our little youngins, going back to school. We're here to talk about bus and school safety.
That's right. That's what it's all about, bus and school safety. I was in a meeting yesterday dealing with bus and school safety.
Absolutely. Mr. You got a little tea for us. Let's talk about bus safety quickly right now, and then we're going to talk about school safety.
When we begin to go on the bus, you got to make sure that you stand at least 10 feet away from the bus stop, and make sure that you're not doing a lot of things at the bus stop that will cause you to be in danger of the bus. That we have had so many fatalities, Ms. Hinton. When you look at the last part of your page and your brochure, you'll find that there is so many fatalities that we have at the bus stop. They said a new year's coming, and that we're approaching school right now. We're approaching schools, going to the bus stop, and statistics for 2022 and 21 that Hampton Roads had 115 crashes.
Oh, wow.
And that occur in school zones, and 115 crashes and 59 injured. And there has been 10 crashes involved pedestrian, and 5 were injured. So, we don't want the numbers to go up. We want the numbers to continue to go down. So we got to learn how to act according when you come into the bus stop. You got to learn that you can't run when the arm is out saying stop, please stop. That's on both sides of the street, because we got children going across the street just to get home. So when you see a child or a parent bringing a child, stop. Let them across the street. Don't be so much of a hurry. Now, there are fines that you will occur. That, because they got cameras on the sides of the buses that they're driving. It's a $250 fine if you get caught passing a school bus with the arm out as it stopped, letting the people cross.
Wow. It is dangerous, because you don't know if children are coming across the street, getting off the bus, and they run. When they get out off the bus, they like running.
That's right.
And so you got to be careful. You got to make sure that you observe it, even though you may be in a hurry. And that's the problem sometimes, Mr. E. And not only that, being in a hurry, but some people don't even understand that you have to abide by the rules when it comes to bus safety. Some people feel like, well, hey, the bus is stopped, I'm just going to go around it. No, if you took, you got your license, they tell you what to observe, the signs and buses, things like that. You have to observe these things for a reason, y'all.
Ms. Hinton, they also have special buses, and they really are putting a stop to these special ed children as they get on the buses, because they're strapped in for one. They cannot defend
Yes.
themselves for two if anything should happen. Now, in yesterday in these meetings that they had, that when you see a special ed bus, you know the difference between a special ed. So your driveway has to be cleared out. You cannot have anything blocking the special ed bus as they bring the children by.
Yes.
And please, again, do not be in so much of a hurry
Yes.
that you're going to run past the special ed bus, because they got new children that they got coming on with wheelchairs, and
Absolutely.
they also got them in walkers.
We want to say good morning to Diane Carter. Hope you're feeling better. Roberta Carter, good morning. I'm glad to see you. And thank you all for joining us. We're talking about school and bus safety. It's important. Mr. E just gave statistics of how many fatalities and how many accidents, take place on a daily basis.
That's right.
And children, I don't know, Mr. E, are they strapping the children in now?
They are strapping.
Now, because at one time they were not.
They're strapping the children in. I had a little article on that. They're strapping the children in seat belts so that the children won't be jumping and around. They said all children that are riding the buses must remain in their chairs. Don't make no noise. Strap yourself down and sit still.
Let me say this, parents, stop sending your children to school and not telling them about safety, but also about rules and about respect. You should not have a child getting on the bus that's rowdy, that's teasing, that's bullying, and taunting bus drivers. I think they have cameras now.
That's right. They have
and I think hopefully it's a little more, it's better than it used to be in the past. Because I tell you, kids would get on the bus and they would turn it out.
And if your child is late, they saying if your child is late, just jump into your automobile and take your child to school.
Don't hold the bus up.
Don't hold the bus. The bus cannot be held up because there are other children that they have to pick up.
Okay, so let's go through some of these rules and tips. It says at bus stops, be at the bus stop at least 5 minutes before scheduled bus stop time. I say be there a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
Be considerate of private property. That's another thing.
That's right.
It can't be 30 of you all standing on somebody's grass and you got somebody trying to run you off, and you all taunting and teasing them and feel like you have every right to be up there. No ball playing or game playing is permitted at the bus stop.
That's right.
Wait until the bus comes to a complete stop before trying to get aboard. Do not crowd the interest when getting on the bus.
And stay off the road while waiting for the bus. If you're late, please do not run after a moving bus.
Yes.
Parents are responsible for their children at the bus stop. That's simply saying that parents go to the bus stop with your children.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I do see that.
That's
I do
right.
see
Parents,
that at a certain age, they are there.
We give so much responsibility to our children that they go to the bus stop and act right. No.
Absolutely.
Go with your children.
All right. On the bus, you need to keep your hands and head inside the bus at all times. Help keep the bus clean. Don't throw trash on the floor or out the windows. Keep objects out of the aisle. Gym bags, instruments, or school projects must be held on your lap or under the seat in front of you, or they will not be allowed on the bus. All sports equipment must be in a contained bag. Find your assigned seat as soon as you board the bus. Do not leave your seat while the bus is moving.
Absolutely quietness is required when the bus approach a railroad crossing. Always follow the direction of the bus driver. No smoking, lighting matches, or open flame is permitted in the bus.
No eating, drinking is allowed on the bus. Cell phone use is not permitted. Now, they had a vote here in Hampton Roads about cell phones. You cannot have them in the classroom, but you can go to a designated place at a certain time, and you can have them in your lockers.
That's right. Leaving the bus, always cross the street in front of the bus while the driver can see you. Absolutely. Stay at a safe distance away from the side of the bus. Drivers allowed to drop off passengers only at regular bus stop.
All right. And parents know where to park, and
That's right.
don't mess with folk, because that's supposed to be your everyday park. you have claimed if somebody in your parking spot, you gonna have an attitude. That's how things get started. Be on time to pick up your children, get them in the car and leave. Find a parking space wherever you can. Everybody can't get in the front of the school.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You got bus, you have the bus that have to be there. And so you have to really be mindful of these things. Traffic patrol and buses. You got to pay attention to the traffic patrol and all that. School patrols. You have to pay attention to safety these days.
And just because your child is walking to the bus stop with their friends and their pet, go with them. Go along with them, because they are playing along the way. And so what they're trying to do is prevent accident. They're trying to prevent your child from destroying somebody else's property as they go down the highway, and keep them in, under well supervision and management. Because at the end of the day, if something should happen to your child, you want somebody to recognize and tell them what's going on.
Another thing, and I said it before, parents, stop allowing your children to go to school, get on bus, or go to school, get on buses, and have this rowdy, militant attitude that they're going to cut up, carry on, and tear up in the bus. The bus driver is trying to get you to school, safe. And you need to talk to your children. Please talk to your children. When children are out of the way of the parent, not around the parent, they can cut up.
Miss Hinton, and that's right. They got an app too that you can know when the bus is coming. What time the bus is coming and when the bus is coming, and watch your 3-year-old as they get on the bus. Those little tots, this is their first time riding on the bus. Make sure you go with them and put the bus number on their shirt or in their backpack so they can know what bus to catch.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about school safety.
Yeah.
Because things have changed in this generation here. 2022, honey. And maybe a few years, above that, there's been some treacherous things going on.
That's right.
In the schools, and that's folk coming in and killing.
That's right.
Children. It's important that you teach your children about school safety. It's important for the schools to talk about safety. I think we have some tips, Mr. E.
That's right. It's important for you when you go to school with your child so that they can follow the golden rule. Don't let your children go out there looking like, okay, this is this. The school bus driver or the assistant or the rules, there are procedures that they want you to follow. Come into the school acting great. And not only that, when you come into the school, don't be rowdy coming into the schoolhouse. Because what is happening is they don't want to start searching each child. They want them to be patient when they come into the door, know where your classroom is, and go directly to your classroom. And then if you know someone that's carrying any weapons whatsoever, here's the thing they're thinking about having. They're thinking about having policemen to walk the hallways in schools. Do you think that our children need police to walk around the classroom, Ms. Hinton, day in and day out, just to walk the halls to make sure that our children, just like being in prison, they're walking the hallways. Well, it's not prison, it's just making sure that your child or your children are safe.
They need security. They need to have some kind of law enforcement in the school because, like I said, people are coming in and doing a lot of harm. They just had, when was it, a few months ago, gunned down all these children in school.
Yeah.
And, people are not playing fair. They don't care who they target. And I'm saying you want to make sure that schools and educators and parents are educating children on the possibility of things that can happen. Don't let them go in there naive, like, oh, all is well. There are sometimes things happen, and you have to prepare them just in case. Just like they used to do fire drills.
That's right.
They used to have a lot of fire drills and things like that. They still do, but you prepare a child for just in case. And now all this gun violence has got to be a part of it.
Miss Hinton, we know we used to have a fire drill where the children go outside and the classroom or the building doing the fire drill. Now they got a new drill coming up that they're allowing the children to know how to place their desks up against the door, just in case someone come in, and to hide underneath their desk, so just in case someone go off. Here's the thing that we got to understand: do not tease nobody. Do not tease nobody. Keep your hands and your feet to yourself. Do not make fun of anybody. Well, we know that children going to be children, but we cannot allow your son, your daughter, to continue to tease other children.
Absolutely. We have some rules and tips for school safety, and one is learn the school's emergency procedures. Know travel routes to and from the school. Know and follow school security and safety measures. Talk with your child about safety. Inform school staff about health and emotional concern. Get involved. Do not just send your child to school and turn your back and say, well, they're all right. Sometimes it don't play out like that.
That's right. That's right.
Understand you have to talk with your child because there's bullying that goes on in schools, and your child may be a victim of bullying. So you have to talk and communicate with your children. Have a really good talk with them before they enter in school. Let them know that that you're there for them. Let them know that you're concerned about them. If anything or incidents come up, please communicate to your parents that you have a problem. And parents, don't wait till the end of the year and your children, they're failing, and then you want to go up to the school raising hell. We see that too. And so, come on now.
And parents, get out of bed and walk your child to the bus stop. Get out of bed and walk your child to school. If you got a walker, go with your child. Don't go up there, like Miss Hinton say, raising sand, thinking that Johnny Boy, he's an angel, that he would do that. Go to the school and find out what your child is doing. Get involved. Get involved with the school so nobody can say that your child did this, this, and this. Know that you got a bad child. Know that your child, and when your back is turned, they go off to the left. Know that your child is acting up. Don't be in denial saying that my child, yes, your little bad child acting up in the schoolhouse and disrespecting parents and all teachers and all that. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Tracy Porter said parents need to visit the schools and learn safety measures to teach your children. And that is absolutely right. But I tell you what, we're going to continue to talk about safety because a lot of our kids even though some are in school, some of them are going to school for the first time after the holiday.
That's right. Starting Tuesday, the 6th.
That's right.
Starting Tuesday, the children will be going back to school. Listen, make sure you got everything you need. Back to school, crayon, pencil, the whole 9 yards. The teachers also want you to help them out, by helping them to supply needs for your child. Make sure your child got paper towels and some box of Kleenex and hand wipes, to wipe their hands and to know exactly. One of the key things is to know where their classroom is. Don't allow your children not to know, and they would wander around the school, outside the school, ready to go back home because they're lost.
Absolutely. We have to teach our kids. So you all be blessed. Come over here if you can on our social media pages. We're going to talk a little bit more about school safety and some upcoming shows. Look, I won't see y'all until Monday. Mr. E will be here Friday with a word. And you all be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Evie, the co-host. Thank you so very much for joining us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350 Peace 95.3 and WPCE 1400 and on the World Wide Web. Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful hump day. That's right. Don't forget to have a wonderful hump day. Bye now.
All right. Miss Angela Hayes, how are you, dear? She said, let's refrain from calling children bad. That's right, Mr. E. Hold on, let me finish, because that's right, Angela. She said, let's refrain from calling children bad. They may act ugly, disrespectfully too. They don't know any better. That's why we want to have parents teach your children to respect adults and those that are taking care of you. Teachers, respect teachers.
That's right.
You know, I mean, my goodness, some of these kids now, look, I've been around children. I taught a program for 5 years for the state. I know how they act.
Yeah.
And I'm saying they have to learn to respect adults. Some of them do not respect adults.
Miss Angie and Miss Ann Meyer said to Angie, bad.
Look, cousin to cousin.
And you're right, Miss Hinton. Our children don't expect adults. You know, they got to get it from somewhere. Well, I ain't got to listen to you. My mama told me I ain't got to pay you no mind. I ain't got to say nothing. Get your old tail out from in front of my face. That's the way they talk to seniors and people. So we got to teach those folks that you see coming down, those older generation that you see sitting on their front porch or walking in their yards or whatever. They're watching over your children.
Yes.
They're looking out for your babies. You know, everybody is not out to hurt your child. That you got people out there that's trying to help look after your child so that they know you got to go to work. They know that you're a busy mama or daddy. So they're trying to look out for your children as they go to school to make sure they don't fall in the hands of a predator, to make sure nobody kidnap your child or pick your child up and giving your child some candy popcorn, and make sure, because you got so much company that you keep at your crib and John Boy come by and pick your child up and just to get back at you.
Well, I tell you what, Ann said, she said, I was there for 23 years. She was at Booker T, honey. Oh, Lord. But Angie also in the system, she's saying, kind of, describe them in a way where it doesn't seem like they are, treacherous. Some of them are just children. Some of them are just, don't have the skills and tools to know how to act. And what is up to parents, and that's why parents should be involved in PTA. They should be involved in the schools. They should have a relationship with the teacher.
Yeah.
It's just, and then it's just amazing. Also mentoring kids, boys and girls. You can tell when you have a child that is problematic. A child that is always in trouble. A child that is in a bad mood. They're like that at home, always in a bad mood. We've mentored boys.
Right.
Some of the boys always in trouble. They just can't get right. And some of them are going through a phase or stage, but it is up to the parents to make sure we know their personalities. Well, John, come to the PTA. Well, John, he does that at home. One time my son, I don't know if he's still up here, and he went to school, and he would be in class, and he would say this thing, and you wouldn't even understand. He said it just like that. He got it from one of the movies, one of the Wayans movie on TV. And so when the teacher called me and she said, yeah, he's talking a lot and he's saying this thing and you wouldn't even understand. I said, uh-oh. She got him, because that's what he was saying around the house. He loved that little cliche, that little thing. And so know your child.
That's
You
right.
know when
That's
your child
right.
is bad.
That's
Or
right.
you know, and I can't, okay, I'm going to refrain. I'm going to pull that back. Not bad. You know when your child is cutting up. Is that better, Angie?
That's right. That's
You
right.
know when your child is cutting up. And so he was, had disrupted the class with that. And I couldn't do nothing but, say, uh-oh, you're right. That's him. He does that around here. So I know he did that in the school. And so watch out for your children, because some of the bad habits they have at home or the things they do at home, they're going to bring them right into the school. And if it's talking back to you, or moody and temper tantrum,
That's
they're
right.
bringing that right into the school.
And then you said something that was so key, Miss Hinton. If they are talking back to you, if your child is talking, with disrespectful to you
Yes.
at home, when he get in school, he's going to do the same thing that he does at home. And don't
Yeah.
forget to teach your children their social and emotional skills. Teach them how to share, that this is not all theirs,
Yes.
because you got toys, and some of the toys that your child see in school, they thinking
Yes.
that's their toy, and because they could be the only child, so when somebody else get that or pick that child that toy up, the first thing your
Yes.
child may say, that's mine, that's
Yes.
mine, that's mine, and not knowing that he needs the social and emotional skills where he
Yes.
has to learn how to share. Make sure you
Yes.
take your children around other children, so they won't be in denial. Oh, I don't know how to act, and they
Yes.
don't know how to function around folk. Now you got children, Miss Hinton, that's going into junior high school, going into middle
Yes.
school.
High school.
Once they
Yes.
get out of 12 years old and start getting to that 13, listen, watch
Oh
your
my goodness.
child.
That is
Once
so
they get
true.
13 years old, they become teenagers, and they don't want to be treated
Mhm.
like little children, little kids. So they figure that once they get 13, it's over. I can do what I want to do, because now I'm almost an adult.
Absolutely. Now, another thing, don't send your child to school hungry and sleepy. They get moody. And so make sure, and that's sometimes what the teacher has to deal with. A child he could be hungry. It's not that he want to act up, but he's hungry. That's the
That's
way he's
right.
expressing himself, like he's irritable. Also, he's tired. Put those children to bed. Put those games up. Stop.
Shut it
Get them
down.
off the phone and the
Yeah.
internet, and let them get a good night's sleep. Also, don't send your child to school dehydrated. They're going to be tired. Make sure their homework is done, and don't beat them up while you helping them do homework. That's
That's right.
another
That's right.
bad thing, because all this stuff come when you bring them into the classroom. This is what they're going to do: act up in front of the teacher because they are feeling some kind of way. Now, I did hear today of a professional talking about children and anxiety on the first days
Yeah.
of school.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. Know when your child is feeling uncomfortable about going in a new environment, or going there and not knowing what to expect. If you communicate with your child and talk him through the process, and then let him know that you're there for him and he has all the numbers just in case something happens, that child will relax. That child will relax. A lot of them have anxiety and what they with separation anxiety, wherein they've been around you. Ooh, have you ever seen one with separation anxiety?
Oh, they
Look,
fall
they're going to
out.
school for the first time.
They'll fall in the
My daughter
floor,
say they cry for about 10, 15 days in a
hollering
row.
and screaming.
Oh my goodness,
Just
that's what I'm saying. Prepare them. Look, take them up to school ahead of time. Talk to the teacher, reassure them, because sometimes it is hard for teachers and counselors when that child has been underneath you and don't know how to exist without you.
and don't forget that when you're taking these 3 years old to school, these are just babies. They are
Oh my
babies.
goodness, yes.
These 3 years old are just babies. They're not going into the classroom to learn. They're going to be another daycare. That's all it is a daycare. but these are babies. We put too much on these children. They haven't been here but for 2 years, 3 years, and they are babies. You know, they're learning their way
Yes.
around. They're not fully functioning
Absolutely.
and thinking. They're gonna make mistakes. Do not beat your child because he wet on his pants, wet on his skirt. Give him some extra clothes to take to
I'm
school
sorry.
when he go. You know, give him some extra stuff to take with him. Don't allow that. Don't get upset when that child make that error.
And said some of them need melatonin. It ain't right.
Well, you know,
You ain't right there.
some of these children are on medication. Some
Well,
of them
melatonin is that sleepy thing where it's a natural
that'll
sleep
calm them
thing,
down.
calm them down. But
That's
we
right.
see that's the thing. That's another controversy with the medication and all that kind of stuff they put kids on to make sure they stay calm. We got to be careful about putting them on all that stuff as well.
And if your child is having problems, let the teachers and the nurse know. If your child's supposed to be on medication, go sit down and talk with the nurse, so the nurse would
Yes.
know that your child, it is supposed to be on medication. If your child have any problems whatsoever, this is where you come in at. They don't know what your
Yes.
child is in doing. They got so many children that the teachers have so many children that they have to teach. And they don't know if your child has this, has that, and that.
Yes.
Let your teacher know and that your child has it, and let them know who's gonna pick your child up. Don't
Yes.
don't say this person gonna pick them up and you can't rely on this person. Now the baby daddy got to pick the child up, and you and the baby daddy ain't getting along, and you told the child not to go home with anybody. So now the child is stuck there crying, and you wonder why the child is crying, because you already gave them an order, and the order is for you not to go home with everybody.
Yes. Make sure your children come home at the designated time. Make sure they understand that they have to be on the bus, or they have to, walk home with other kids, or however you have to pick them up. But make sure, you don't leave children to themselves. Now, when we were doing the mentoring program, Mr. E, there was a little baby bird walking down the street in a slip and some boots. The mother had left the child with the big sister. Big sister was going over a friend's house while the baby was asleep. She thought the little baby was asleep. Little girl looked like she was about 3 years old. She came down, maybe she walked maybe a mile from where she lived, and she was coming past where we have the mentoring program for boys. And I spotted her, and I said, "Oh my God!" Immediately, we went into the center, and they called the police, and the police came, and they went right to the house. I don't know what happened to the mother, but I can imagine. What's the name of those agencies?
Social services.
Social services. I'm quite sure social service paid her a visit.
Norfolk Public School has did something marvelous this year. They got a smart app. They got an app for the bus, and it's called Here Comes the Bus. If your child is on a bus, download on your cell phone, on your smartphone or your tablet or your personal computer, from your App Store or Google Play, the app called Here Comes the Bus.
Yes.
And then the Norfolk Public School account number, they give you all of that, is 29096, and put the student ID number there too, as needed to sign in the account. And once you do all of that, you know when the bus is coming.
Yes.
And so make sure that your child, now the bus driver is not responsible for every child that gets on that bus. If they're the type of bus driver that is familiar with your child, then they gonna make sure that they got your child on the bus. So sometimes parents, you got to do this. You got to see your child on the bus, go to the schoolhouse and see your child get off the bus, and then you got to go back to the schoolhouse and make sure your child get on the right bus.
Yes.
And talk to the office to make sure the office will tell you if that bus has broken down, that there's a different change in the numbers.
Absolutely.
Make sure you communicate, because there are so many children that are left on the bus. that falls asleep because they're
I
tired
know,
and they
absolutely.
miss their stop, and the bus driver is not paying attention to the child as they lay on the bus.
Absolutely. I want to get back to my point. Please do not leave little children supervise to have the big brothers. I'm talking about the 12-year-old supervising little babies. Like I said, the incident, the little baby could have fell in the hands of
That's
anybody
right. That's
walking
right.
the streets so far.
That's right.
It was raining and everything. And I'm saying, please, this is a part of safety, school safety and after school safety too. Make sure you're not leaving your 8-year-old to babysit your 3-year-old.
That's right. That's right. That's
Your
key.
10-year-old,
That is
because
key.
they're distracted. Those young preteens are distracted with their friends. They're on the phone and they don't have time to watch your little baby.
And don't leave them
Your
in the
latch
house.
keys.
Don't leave them in the house by themselves.
Well, this is the latchkey generation
That's
that took
right.
place in the 80s,
But make sure your neighbor, some adult that's next door to you, knows that your child in the house. They still got this 10-year-old boy that's still missing. Don't nobody
my
know where
God.
he's at over in Newport News.
Is it 10 or young?
Younger than that.
Mhm.
Don't nobody know where he's at.
I
He was
know
in
it.
the house with his brother.
Wow.
And so now, make sure that somebody knows something about what's going in your crib. It's not the point of them being nosy. It's the point of you being
Absolutely.
safety, and
Absolutely.
how your child going to come home and what time your child to be expect. Gang members are out there lurking to get young kids into their gang. Here's the reason why the gang members are out there trying to get young kids. They don't want old heads. They don't want 15 and 16 years old. And the reason for that is they can get jail time. But a 12, 11-year-old kid, all he does goes to the juvenile delinquency center and get released into the parents' care.
Absolutely. So make sure you all are playing it safe. Make sure your kids are learning about the rules and regulations of the school and bus safety tips. Make sure that if they are latchkey, that like Ms. E said, a neighbor or somebody knows that child is supposed to go in and do certain things. Do not sit back and let people lurk and look at your child going in the door every day by
That's
himself.
right. By
It's not going to
himself.
be good. So anyway, we're going to continue to talk about it as kids go to school. We're going to put up a little prayer a little bit later for our youngins. And in the meantime, Mr. E, we got some great upcoming shows.
Miss Hinton, we got some upcoming shows that folks don't want to miss. This upcoming show, we got Mayor Kenny Alexander coming our way. That's going to give us an update of what's going on in the city of Norfolk, Virginia, and what they're doing. We got Mr. Roland Fuller will be our special guest. Miss Sherry Johnson will be with us. Miss Deborah Harrison, Miss Teresa Kalungo will be, and guess what, Miss Hinton? We got a special guest for a Wednesday segment. Mr. Ahid Rasheen will be our special guest on a Wednesday segment. What's under the hat issues dealing with men.
You are not the father. Yeah, we know Maury did it, but he did the DNA. We're not doing DNA.
That's
We're
right.
going to have an expression of what's under a hat, what a man feels like when he has discovered, that he is not the father. I mean, what do you do? Where do you turn? And listen, he's not the only one that goes through it. There's plenty of men that discover that they are not the father of the children that they have cared for years, maybe sometimes 3-4 years, maybe sometimes 18 years.
And been in the life and say, that's my child.
Yes.
I'm the daddy of this child. He became so attached to that child. Yes. And then when he find out that you're not the daddy.
Yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's really strange. Sometimes people find out early, some people find out late. There was a young man and his mother. His mother told him to go tell your daddy. They were divorced by then. Tell him this is the last. The daddy said to the son, go tell your mama this is the last payment. The boy had turned 18 and everything. Woo, hallelujah. Hallelujah. And guess what? When he came and told his mother that this was the last payment, Daddy told me to tell you, the mother turned around to the son and said, he won't the father no way.
Mhm.
He wasn't the pappy no way. Now, you know that's cold-blooded. And can you imagine what that would feel like if you've been taking care of a child for 18 years,
And found out.
giving that money, and all of a sudden the woman turn and tell you, you want the daddy no way.
What do you think about a guy that's been with the girl and they have a baby? The baby, girl walking around saying, "This is your child. This is your baby. This is your child. I would never cheat on you. I would never do anything behind your back." Then, when the time for the child to be delivered, the daddy is holding the child. The child in turn 1 or 2 years old, and come find out that the real daddy of the child shows up on the scene
Woo!
to get his child.
Now that is too much, but I tell you what, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have quite a few, not a whole bunch, but we're going to have quite a few folk to talk about this issue that happens.
That's right.
We're not going to be in denial of anything that a man goes through. That's the problem. You know, people want to silence men and not want to hear their stories. We want to hear. We want to hear because it will help other men. Now, like I said, from despair to triumph, you know, some of these stories end up, you know, with happy endings. Some of them, you know, men they keep moving on. You know, sometimes they stay in the relationship with the child, but then sometimes they cut it off. We're going to find out exactly what happens in this situation.
That's right.
So, acid, hospital time, and jail time. I'm about to crack up and Miles. But anyway, those upcoming shows, you all continue to tune in. Yeah, we're gonna get deep with a whole lot of stuff. You all might as well prepare yourself with some things that the ladies gonna talk about too. That ain't gonna be real easy to listen to or handle. But hey, we're gonna talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. Because
absolutely.
We're living in a day and age where we're trying to figure out why folks are like they are.
Mm-hmm.
Why men shutting down? Why men so beefy? Why men are walking around look like zombies, look like they're in circles, can't get themselves together. And something that's down on the inside of them that causing them not to be able to function. They don't want to go to work. They don't want a job. They've been hurt. They've been discouraged. They've been knocked down. And so we got to help these brothers and these families to rise above. We got to help them to be able to survive in this mean world. We look around and there are so many young men and so many men out there drinking that liquor, drinking that wine, shooting up that dope. We're looking at them. It's something that causes this to happen. And let's get down to the bottom of it. So we want our doctors, we want our lawyers, we want our scientists, we want our engineers, we want them back on track.
Absolutely. We're going to give men a voice, and that's why we have that Wednesday segment. Issues concerning men, how they feel, not how we feel about them with the way they feel. It's about what they have to say and how they want to express themselves.
That's right.
And so we're going to have special guests to talk about topics like that. We had someone come, Sean, to come on with his organization talking about child custody and child support, honey. And you should have seen the numbers. We had our numbers went up so high when people were listening to those particular shows. And so these issues are important to men. We want to hear what they think and feel. Mr. E, we want to talk about the anti-bullying movement.
That's right.
Our community against bullying, a call to action now. Crystal Community Development Corporation, a 501c3, founded by yours truly, Yolanda Hinton. We're having a rally, a movement, and we want you all to be involved. It's October the 15th. It's going to be in Chesapeake, Virginia, at 11 o'clock a.m. More details are coming, but we also need your email address so we can send you the information to sign
and the invitation,
to get the to RSVP actually, and let us know if you're coming or if you're bringing children, because it's all about our little youngins. We're going to have a lot of great activities and things for the families, for parents, for the children, and we want you to be a part of that.
So if you're going to email us your email, send it to FYI Radio Show, live radio show at gmail.com. That's FYI.
Actually, Mr. D, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's and I'm going to put it up. It's Crystal Community. I'm going to actually put the email. It's crystalcommunity@cox.net. That's where you're going to send.
Yeah.
Well, we can. You can. This is what I would love for them to do. Just drop your email in our DMs.
Yeah.
So we can send you the invitation, and you can RSVP. Please, we are asking children, parents, leaders to be a part of this rally. And this is not our first rally. We've had quite a few.
That's right.
And so we're going to continue with this movement. Don't forget the ladies' books. Bullying is right underneath your nose. The link is on my page. The link is, or you can go anywhere. Google Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose by Yolanda Hinton. You'll see the cute little illustration of kids on the front of the cover. It is an ebook as well as a hard copy, and it's also in Spanish. Please, please get that book.
Just before we take off, and I know we got we did this jobs thing, Miss Hinton. Mm-hmm. I've been looking at some other jobs that are available. The airport looking for someone to come down and work for them, $20.40 an hour. The grocery stores, mail clerks, working from home, hospital front desk. American Airlines is looking for folks down there for $43 an hour.
Wow.
Assemblies, $36. No experience job is looking for early morning postal workers. Delta Airlines, they're looking for folks down there. Amazon is looking for folks also. And the government is looking for folks to be a part of what's going on.
That's some good tea, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So you all pay attention and govern yourself accordingly, just like they say at church. There are a lot of jobs, and we have them listed for you all. You can also Google current job listings and things like that. Don't forget to follow us on social media. I want to say thank you to you all because the numbers are definitely going up, honey. Yes, they are. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channels, our Instagram channels, our Facebook. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you. Also, the Ladies Pies. Now we're going to be launching that.
Special occasions coming up.
For your special, that's right, special events, special occasions. And we can also host, Miss E, right?
Yeah. Me and Miss Hinton, we do hosting where we can come out there and create an atmosphere that's going to be off the top, off the chain for your event.
Yeah, so you can, Miss E going to give you the number where you can contact us, or you can go to Gig Salad, GIGSALAD, and type in the Lady and Mr. E and request us to host your special event on a special occasion.
That's right.
Okay, don't forget the ladies' music that's online, and that you can be a special guest sponsor intern with FYI Radio Show. Mr. E has that information.
I want to say that if you want to be a special guest sponsor, or if you want us to host your event, give us a call at 757-714-7861, or go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, inboxes, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, inboxes, or FYI Facebook page and inboxes, or go to FYI Live Radio Show at gmail.com and let us know that you would love to be a special guest or support or sponsor of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
Make sure you all follow Mr. E this Friday. I'm going to give him an assignment that he can give y'all a good word on Friday. I will be out of town, but I'll be back on Monday.
Yeah.
So you all make sure you all tune into FYI at 9:30 on Friday. Be blessed. You all are wonderful. And thank you, Angela, Mardell Lewis. We got Tracy. Do we have Tracy? Yeah, Tracy Porter again. Yeah. We have Chris Hinton, Roberta Carter, Philip Plum. Wow, we got all our friends up here, and we just thank you all for tuning in with us. We'll see you again. I'll see you on Monday. Mr. E will see you on Friday. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.